Hi, folks. Steve Urban here, founder and CEO at recruiting and consulting firm Riderflex. If you think today's tip or guest interview can help someone you know, please share this with them. And if you enjoy listening to our show, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button on the episodes. Finally, aside from our podcast, our day job here at Riderflex is to provide recruiting, staffing, and consulting services. You can visit riderflex.com to learn more about us and get the information on the services we provide. And now, a quick word from our sponsor and friends at Marketing 360.
Try the #1 marketing platform for small business. Everything you need from design to marketing to CRM. Learn more at marketing360.com. Marketing 360. Fuel your brand.
So Michael, is it like 120 in Houston today, the normal for late June in Houston, or what?
No, actually it's I think it's hotter in the West Coast, or at least it has been, right?
Oh, okay. So what's your temperature today? 90?
Right now? No, it's a good 77 degrees outside right now.
What? For Houston?
Yeah,
Oh.
we have some, I guess, some weather brought in some cooler temperature.
77 in Houston on June 28th. Wow, that's like cold.
When it's like I think it hit like 120 in Portland, Oregon, just like 2 days ago or something.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah,
crazy.
It's kind of weird.
You grew up in Houston. You're from there, right? You've been there for a long time?
Yeah, I've been here my whole life.
Tell me about it. So your folks, talk to me a little bit. Give me a little family history. Go for it.
Yeah. I was born and raised in a small, I guess, suburb of Houston called Alvin, Texas.
Alvin, Texas. All right.
Yep. Kind of known for Nolan Ryan.
Oh, is that where he's from? What was the population?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Like, I'd totally probably butcher the number.
Okay. Well, how many people in your graduating class in high school?
Well, probably one, because I was homeschooled.
Oh.
So
okay. I just trying to get an idea for the size there. But anyway, it's a suburb.
Yeah.
Like how far outside of Houston?
It's probably a 35, 40-minute drive.
Oh, okay. Okay, not too far. Okay.
Yeah, not too far.
What'd your folks do?
My dad is a tree farmer.
Really?
Yep. He worked for a tree farm, managing it when I was growing up, and now he owns his own. But yep, they sell trees basically to companies like Walmart, or if someone is building a building somewhere, they need trees for parking lots, or if the city's building streets and they need trees for the medians, he works with those. So
wow, so he owns his own business.
Yep, he owns his own business.
Well, you know what my next question is going to be.
Yep.
Well, how come you don't work with your dad? How come you're not running the family business? What's going on there?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I started, I guess, just really young in computer and the tech industry. And I never really considered anything else. So
okay. When you were like 15 or 16, was he like
12?
12 is like dragging you to the tree farm.
Yeah. I helped him out when I was younger, for sure.
Okay. Well, I can only imagine, like, you're in the Houston area in the summertime working on the tree farm. You're like, hey man, the computers are in this room where there's air conditioning. So I'll be over here.
No, I enjoy it. I enjoy working outside to get my hands dirty.
Okay. Are your dad's hands? I mean, I know a couple of guys that work on tree farms here in Colorado. One guy in particular, his kid went to high school with my kid, and every time he'd see me at the football games and he'd shake my hand, I mean, his hands were like tree trunks. I mean, they were just, he just works with, and he would shake my little sissy hands, and I'd be like, I'm kind of embarrassed. Are your dads like that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He his hands are rough for sure.
I think about that all the time on the guy who does the trees for me here at the house because I still use him. He comes by the house. And I'm always thinking he probably thinks I'm wimpy. All right, what'd your mom do?
My mom, she was a teacher part-time. I believe she taught English, if I remember correctly, back in for middle schools.
Okay,
Um, and but apart from that, she was just a full-time mom. And
okay.
then she also, we were all homeschooled, so she
Ah,
she
yeah.
was teaching us also.
Who's we
But
all? How many siblings?
four siblings. I have
So
one
five.
brother, and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
there's five of us. One brother, three sisters. Yep,
All homeschooled?
all homeschooled.
Oh,
I don't
damn.
know
Yeah,
how she did it.
yeah, your mom was busy. Okay.
Yeah, busy or crazy, one of them.
Right. Are they still down there? Still in that area? Still, close to you?
One, yeah, one just moved. She moved. She's working at Yale. The Yale. Can't I can't remember what the hospital's called, but
Oh,
there's a medical branch over there, and she works at their hospital as a nurse. So
okay.
she just
Oh,
she just moved up there.
interesting. All right. Very good. And your siblings, are they in Texas, or they're spread around?
Yeah, the rest of them are here. Yep.
Really? Like are any of them in the family business or the tree business?
No, none of them. My dad, I don't know. He,
Yeah.
I guess just couldn't convince us or something.
Your dad must
Maybe
have been,
we're
he must have been kind of hardcore. Like everybody's like, nah, it's okay, dad.
no. He's awesome. I, I think some of it's just I think we all kind of have a bit entrepreneurial side to us just because of
Right.
how he raised us, and
Hmm.
so I think with that it's a little hard to kind of keep everyone on one thing. So
I believe it. And so watching your dad when you were growing up, were you thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm gonna own my own business someday as well?
oh yeah, yeah,
I really,
I
okay.
remember vividly uh when I was I think 7. I uh I love to draw a lot, and I would draw like massive like buildings, and would put like Hirsch, like Hirsch
Hirsch
company
Studios or
or
something. Yeah.
whatever, yeah, like on the building, and just like dreamed of like owning this like massive
Ah,
corporation.
okay.
But yeah, it was it's always been kind of a dream of mine.
So you had the entrepreneurial bug early on. Now, how did you get into, computers and, software developing and writing code? How did that happen? Walk me through that.
Well, I was fortunate enough to have um, a family that had a computer in the living room. This was back when there was this dinosaur computer sitting in family living rooms.
Right. Okay.
Um, and I remember just getting on it and wondering how everything worked.
Is this
And
before
so,
Windows? Is this black screen with green letters before Windows or no?
no, this was
Okay.
Windows.
What year were
Yeah,
you born? What year were you born?
94.
94. Okay. Okay. Yeah. 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 You're sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. You're not that old. Go ahead. Anyway, you're playing
not
around.
that
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Yeah, just playing around with it, and I just began Googling like just stuff, and it was like probably 13, probably actively began coding just on my own.
What
And
were you
then
coding as in building websites or writing software? What were you doing?
yeah, this was just kind of some more basic stuff like HTML and CSS and JavaScript, light
Okay.
light on the JavaScript side, but just I started doing uh, more research on my own free time, just on the
Okay.
computer. I
Okay.
would inspect source codes from other websites and see what would happen if I changed different things. And
Really?
just, yeah.
You weren't hacking
And-
in. You weren't hacking into the FBI database or anything, were you?
No, it was nowhere near that advanced. But
Okay.
I do remember one time I convinced my mom that I hacked the CIA's website because I made it look different on our computer. I was just changing like the code on the computer side, not actually like messing with their website. So
That's pretty good. How long
yeah.
did you give her? Did you give her like a half hour for freak out? How long did you give her before you told her?
I probably waited a couple of years.
Oh, a couple of years. Oh, she's like, my son is a freaking genius. He hacked
Yeah.
it. She's telling all her
I
friends.
like, well, I just I forgot about it. And then she brought it up one time, like a couple years later. And I was like, yeah, about that.
That's pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you're tinkering around. When did you figure out like, hey, this is fun, but I'm gonna start charging people for this stuff. I'm gonna start making money on this. When did that happen?
Yeah. So, I just started, first off, I just started, talking about it a lot. We went to a church and I would talk to people there that, were in tech and got some pointers from people, started learning a language called PHP.
Okay.
And then from there, I built a social network that I came up with just to challenge myself.
Oh yeah.
And then, after that, then, I think the word was getting out around just like, my family's community and church and about, I guess just my skill set at my age. And then from there, people would just come to me asking for websites to be made, and so I started building websites for people, companies.
So that's
it was
how it
probably,
started. That's how it started was, hey, can you build me a website? Okay.
Yep. And I was probably around 15. Yep. And then I was actually on a flight, sitting next to a CEO of a large surgeon company. I can't remember
Okay.
the name of it, but basically they're kind of like the middleman for hospitals who need surgeons. I didn't
Okay.
even know this was like an industry, but apparently
Okay.
like they're, this company helps, I guess, get hospital surgeons. And so I was sitting next to the CEO and I was just like working, just like coding on my computer next to him. And he started talking about how he needed a new website and this and that. And so I was like negotiating prices with him on the flight. And then by the time we landed, I got like a deal for like $5,000 to like build him a website. And then like the next week, my grandparents had to drive me to the board meeting in downtown Houston because I didn't even have a driver's license yet.
Sweet.
And then
That's
I get
pretty
back
good.
get back in the car with $2,500 check.
Because you made him pay half up front.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, how did you deposit that into a business account? Did you have an LLC?
Yeah. I had a I wasn't an LLC. It was just a sole proprietorship.
Okay.
Back then, that I had help from a family friend to get created. And I had a business bank account.
Business bank account 15. You take it out in the bank and you're like, here's my first check. You don't happen to have a photo of you in that first check, do you? Somewhere.
I should have. No, I don't think so. Should have saved it.
So there you go. I mean, you had the entrepreneurial bug super early. You started playing with computers and coding. You started doing a little side hustle. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Very good. Now you had enough business going on in high school. Well, I know you were homeschooled, but by the time you graduated, you had enough work. You didn't feel like you needed to go to college at that point, didn't want to go, didn't need to, probably making more money than most 40-year-olds at that point.
No, it was, I actually did want to go to college. But I actually, I had a pretty big life, I guess, experience
Okay.
before graduating, where I, being in the South, we're all pretty much raised in church.
Yeah.
But prior to graduating, it pretty much became like my thing also. Then at that point, and so I actually went and changed directions. I already met with the college. I was just going to go to the community college there in Alvin, and then work on transferring after that to some university, just for cost benefit of that. But I actually switched like probably a couple months before, and interned with a ministry, and interned with them in their IT department for like 2 years.
Okay.
And then from then on, I actually got a decent amount of connections from that. And I guess I never looked back on
Never looked back.
college.
Yep.
Of course, sometimes I look back and I'm like, well, what if, but or just because I love learning, right? And so
Yeah.
even if
Yeah.
it was just on my own, I obviously don't really need it now, but just for learning's sake. But then it's like, well, why spend all that money, just to have a piece of paper on the wall? But yeah, so ever since then, I got a job outside of that internship, and just been making connections and moving up ever since.
Now you worked for a few people before you started Kickstart Crew. Walk me into the transition when you were like, okay, I don't want to be an employee anymore. I'm gonna, I'm gonna do something
Yeah.
on my own. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So I don't really think it was as much of I don't want to be an employee anymore. It was, like I said, I'd always known that I would start my own company one day. I think
Yep.
it was just a matter of time. But I love working for people also.
Okay.
I'm working for people now,
Well,
just
that's true, right? Yeah,
as because we're a
that's
digital
right.
agency.
Yeah.
I we meet with clients, and think through ideas and create them, and I love that. And so working for another company, I did the same thing.
Okay.
And I think the reason, the biggest motivator for me was not even really freedom. It was just more so it was more so empowerment, because I have different aspirations and dreams and goals that I want to hit, that will make a dent on humanity.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't hit those if I'm working for somebody else.
Okay. Because
And so
you won't make as much money, or because you won't have
I
as
won't
much
make as much money, and I won't have the time,
flexibility in your
the
schedule.
capacity to be able to hit
Okay.
these different goals, and
Okay.
make some of these dreams come true. So
What are some of those dreams? I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole here, but what are some of those? Can you share one or two of them?
yeah, I can share one. So one of the biggest things for me is the I guess looking at the world and wondering how I can leave an imprint, I guess,
Okay.
is the homeless situation in the US.
All right.
I've always kind of just been, I don't know, I've always felt kind of, I guess, like drawn to, not necessarily solving it, but I've always felt like I was, called, or whatever the term is you want to use, like, to just make it better, to some degree, right? And so, I was looking at some stats, and the one of the biggest I guess you could say, like, funnels of people into the homeless population is the foster care system.
Ah,
And so right now, it's about like 50% of the homeless population came out of the foster care system in the US.
I did not know that. Okay.
And when I learned about that, it like just really broke me. And just because, if you think about where these kids are coming from, like the kind of life that they've had, and then it's like they go from that to then just having a completely different life that is just as horrible. Now going from being a foster kid to being a homeless person, it's just, I just want to help, like, wherever I can. And so, the only thing I can do is then look at my, my tools, like what's on my tool belt, what's my skill set, what are the skill sets I have that I can use to that I can leverage to make a dent in this. And so, that's when I started thinking through some different things. And one of the things that we want to do is, when I say we, me and my business partner, and I hope I'm not speaking too soon on this, but I think it's fine. We want to start a nonprofit to basically help educate kids who are in the foster care system in tech, kind of like creating a tech boot camp
I see.
for foster kids, where we leverage the connections that we're making over at Kickstart Crew with tech companies, and basically become like a boot camp that is free for them to join. And then if they graduate, then they get a job lined up for them at a tech company.
Love the idea. Great idea. Now, a big part of that's going to be raising cash, though, and asking rich people for donations.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever asked a billionaire to write a check?
No, I don't imagine it's an easy task.
I think it takes a little bit of talent, but
Yeah.
but I like that goal, though. That's good, Michael. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. I love it. I had no idea that 50% came from foster care. Now, I heard some stats around, mental illness and homeless, and I don't know what percentage, or I don't know what that stat is, but I remember reading stuff like that. Had no idea half of them came from foster care. Wow, that's a crazy number.
Yeah, and on the flip side, some of the high, I guess, because it varies, city to city. On the higher end, sometimes I believe the stat is that as well, 50% of all graduating, I guess if that's the right word, people out of the foster care system, around 50% of them become homeless too. So that's high. That's on the high end, depending on city to city. But yeah, so it's pretty rough.
Okay, I like that goal. So that whole nonprofit goal kind of ties into why you want to be an entrepreneur. Like you said, hopefully you'll have the money to do it. You'll have the flexibility and freedom to do it. Scheduling power. When you're an entrepreneur, you got a little more freedom on your personal schedule. Okay, so how did Kickstart Crew walk us through how that formed?
Sure.
And then just walk right into an overview of Kickstart Crew. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, working for companies, I had, been building up connections with people at different companies, friends of mine who've left and gone working for someone else. But over time, I'd built up my own, side hustle client list. And when I was working at Brushfire, one of the companies I used to work for, I met my business partner there, Rob Hando, and through shared experiences there, we bonded and became super close. He's one of my best friends now. But after we both left, we were both working basically on the side. Actually, he was a full-time contract worker for some different companies, but this was something I did on the side. And basically, as I built up, that side hustle, it got to the point where I was getting too many requests and turning them down, to the point that it made more sense to just accept them rather than turn them down and just, step into this full time. And so instead of doing that just by myself, I reached out to my friend Rob, and he and I had talked about going into business together before. And I was like, hey, what do you think about just merging and merging the client list and starting our own company? And so basically we did that. I was still working for a company at the time when we started the company. And we started the company, and probably, I don't know, a month to 2 months later, after getting some more clients, it was to the point where I will either ruin my mental health because of how much I'm working, or I quit my my full-time job and my day job, and I jump into this. And it wasn't an easy decision, because I do have 2 kids and a wife, and we have a house that has a mortgage, we have a car payment, all the things. And but doing numbers in my head, and looking back on the influx of prospects, the trajectory was only positive. And so as long as we keep doing good work, we're going to have people come back to us. We're going to have people refer us to their friends, and so on. But and so that's, I wrestled with that for probably a couple weeks, and then after a lot of just reflection and prayer, I just decided to make the jump, because I just really felt like it was a pinnacle point in my life.
What'd your wife say? What'd your wife
say? That was one of the best things, is she was supportive the whole time of me doing that. And she's been supportive of me doing all the crazy stuff that I've done. So it's always nice to have some support on that end.
Does she say, hey, I want to see the spreadsheet and the numbers, and I want to see all the math?
No,
I trust you.
I mean, partly just because she, even if I went over it with her, she'd probably just be bored out of her mind. So
does she work, or what does she do? I know you got 2 kids, so two smaller kids, right? So I don't know if does she stay at home mom, or what's she do?
Yeah. So she used to be an esthetician whenever we were dating, and even after we got married. But she'd always wanted to be a full-time mom. And and so yeah, that's what she does. It was obviously, you know, hard at first financially for us because you only have one source of income, and you know,
And
especially when
it's an entrepreneurial source.
yeah, and yeah, well now, right, even more so. But you know, back when we, you know, were first married and had our first kid, I wasn't making that much, and you know, so we went from me not making that much, you know, plus her not making that much either, as just an esthetician, to you know, her you know, quitting that and being a mom full time. So it was rough at the beginning, but uh, you know, we've been increasing pretty steadily. So
That's
it's been
great.
good.
Good for you. How long you been married, by the way?
5 years.
5 years. Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you meet your wife?
Met her at church.
Did you? Were you
Yeah.
like, were you like, was she up like 3 pews ahead of you? And like, so you just slowly moved you, like every Sunday, you just moved up another pew until you got, how'd you,
No, yeah. So I actually, so outside of the that internship that I did, I came back to Houston. That was in Texas. It was probably like 3.5 hours away or so. After I finished that and came back to the Houston area, I just got a job as a web developer at our church,
okay.
and as just like a temporary thing. But while I was there, that's when I met my wife, and because she worked there
Oh,
as well,
I
and so that's
see.
how I met her. Yep. And
Okay.
so I
Okay. Well,
made, you
you
know,
guys weren't like, making out in the pastor's office or anything, right?
no, no, no,
Uh,
we I did make plenty of excuses though to go see
yeah.
her.
Right. Right. It's so funny you mentioned that. I grew up in Oklahoma. So obviously, well, I guess I don't know if obviously is the right word, but church is a big part of your life in Oklahoma for a lot of
Sure.
people. And my mom would always kind of figure out, it would take her a few weeks, she'd be like, "Man, you sure are interested in going a lot." And of course that's because there was a girl or whatever. I was
Yeah,
interested in
yeah,
a girl
yeah.
there,
Right.
and then when that would fade, I'd be like, "Do I have to go tonight?" And then, when I was into a girl, I'd be like, "Are we going?"
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, all right. So, yeah, I saw your beautiful family that you posted on LinkedIn. By the way, great photo.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're taking these risks. So you talk to your partner and you're like, let's merge, let's do something together. He's got his
Yep.
client list, you got yours.
Yep.
Just you and him at first, or do you immediately have enough work to call other people to come join you?
Yeah. So we at first it was just us.
Okay.
We hired someone else as a part-time developer, probably I don't know, 1 month later. It wasn't long. So yeah,
Okay.
we were increasing our you know, the demand, working with clients, getting them to increase their budget for us, and so we hired a part-time developer, and
Cool.
it just grew from that to where we're at
How
now.
many, yeah, tell us. So kickstartcrew.com for the listeners, by the way, kickstartcrew.com. Plus Michael Hirsch, of course, is on LinkedIn. You can connect with him there. Give us the 3 minute elevator pitch of Kickstart Crew. Tell us in layman's terms, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, so layman's terms, we turn ideas into software, uh, and uh, basically the goal is to be a to partner with companies who need software help, whether they have an existing development team or not.
Okay.
uh, some of our clients, we just we act as their development team. We are the developers for them.
Mhm.
Other companies, they have developers, and we just extend that and work with them, and allow them to take on more, uh, allow them to do more, accomplish more goals as they're coming, because they have more people to be working on stuff. And so so basically that kind of sums it up. But the heart behind it is, you know, we want to Rob and I really love products, not just software. And so we really like working with companies, not just you know, being code monkeys and just, you know, focusing on the keyboard, punching away at keys, and not really worrying or concerning much about what it is that we're building. We very much enjoy meeting with clients and hashing through those early stage you know, questions. What is the product? You know, how can we scale it? You know, what's the competition? What's the information architecture? How is that supposed to look? User experience, all of it. And so we try to be, for startups especially, we try to be like a one-stop shop that can, you know, as long as someone has the funding as a startup, they can come to us, and we have the designers, we have the project managers, the engineers, and the expertise to be able to work with them through certain problems, create screens, and build a product that's production ready.
What's the biggest difference between you and your competitors, right? I mean, there's a lot of companies that do what you do, right? What's your secret sauce or your special sauce?
Honestly, I think I don't think it's that complicated. I think it crosses over into pretty much in any industry, even, and that's just delivering.
Right.
You know, if you deliver and you are at least semi-likable person, then you're probably going to do well, because you know, it's I guess unfortunate, but you know, there's a lot of companies out there that just don't deliver, and it leaves you know, startups and even larger companies looking for replacements. You know, I have someone that we're talking to right now, a potential client who they had an agency working on it, and now they can't even get in touch with them. And so you know, it's just, you know, if you're known for delivering and you know, obviously or maybe this isn't obvious, but not just delivering, but delivering solid work, you obviously have to be good at what you do. But there are a lot of good agencies out there who do good, who have the potential to do good work, and we just try to be, you know, we meet with the clients, and we just like to see ourselves as a partner with them. And so we talk, we toss ideas around. We're not afraid to correct them if they, if an idea that they have isn't the best idea in the world to us anyways. Then we're pretty blunt, and we'll be honest with them. But I think clients like that.
You know, I want to just touch on something here for the listeners. You know, if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, you're getting ready to start something, or you're thinking about starting something, and you're entering a field where there's lots of competition, it's true that if you just do a good job, if you just do
Right.
what you said you were going to do a good job, communicate well, and you're a clean / organized company. When I say clean, meaning just not messy. Like if you just communicate and you're clean and organized and you're semi-likable,
Yeah.
you'll get business. I mean, it's not
Right.
easy. Don't get me wrong. Being an entrepreneur is
Yeah.
definitely hard, but yeah, if you just do good work, it's amazing what happens. You'll get referrals, you'll get more business. They'll call you back.
Right.
I mean, there's the good news is, my friend, there's a lot of people out there doing shitty work, and that's good for me,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And
That's right.
I had the same conversation with my business partner, Scott. I met him at a Buffalo Wild Wings over a couple of beers. And I remember telling him, I want to turn Riderflex into a recruiting firm. And he's like, what? He's like, there's 20,000 recruiting firms in the country. He's like, why do you want to
Right.
do that? I'm like, yeah, I know. Most of them are crappy. We can do a better job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right.
So there's
Yeah, I
always the
think
low-hanging fruit. Yeah.
yeah, I think I mentioned semi-likable. It obviously, it probably requires to be a little more than
Yeah,
semi-likable.
but yeah,
In
I know what you mean.
fact, even more so, if you are personable, if you engage at a personal level with your clients,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's not just business, and I'm just all I care about is business. I don't really care about you as a person.
Mhm.
Then that I think that's helped us a lot,
No
because
doubt about it. No doubt about it.
because we definitely we try to be we try to be personable with the clients that we work with.
Speaking of relationships and getting to know them and stuff, you're pretty open about your faith, which I respect, by the way. I
Sure.
respect, and just for the listeners, I respect people being open about whatever their beliefs are.
Right. Yep.
Um,
Absolutely.
has that ever affected your business? Do you think it's good for your business? Do you worry about, like, okay, well, what if this person, doesn't believe in God and I'm offending them or whatever? Like, do you ever worry about stuff like that?
Um, I mean, I'd be wrong to say that I don't ever worry about stuff like that. I think that, I think it's a valid concern, no matter who you are, to be, worried about,
Whatever.
not, whatever it is you believe, do, act, look like, to lead to some sort of discrimination, right?
Right.
And so, but at the end of the day, worrying about it's not going to get you anywhere. And I think, again, like you know I'm a personable guy. I try to be anyways, but it's not fake, it's genuine. And I think, like, that's that's the thing, is, um like, I try to not be all that, I guess, uh judgmental about
Yeah.
whoever it is that I'm, working with, talking to, because at the end of the day, we're all different people. We all come from different places, different backgrounds. We believe different things. And the important thing is that we're all human. And so I try to at least not worry about it too much, because I hope that the majority of people, and I truly believe that this is the case, that the majority of people think that way. They really do, I think. And so,
Isn't
um,
it, isn't it interesting that social media would lead you to believe that if you have a different opinion on something from somebody, that you just hate the other person and you fight about it. But really, that's not reality, right? I mean, that's not. I mean, you go to a social gathering, you go to the church,
yeah,
you go to the tavern, you go to the grocery store, whatever. You go to your kids' play. People respectfully disagree about stuff all the time, and they have regular
all the
conversations
time. Yeah,
all the time. Like I have,
disagreements are healthy.
yeah,
That's the
I
only
have
way we can grow.
totally, yeah, absolutely. I have friends that don't think the way I think about a lot of things, but I like them just
Yeah,
fine, and I have a beer with them too. I mean, but yeah,
yeah. In fact,
social,
I mean, I
social
seek
media
out
would lead you to believe
people.
you're fighting. What was that?
I was like, in fact, I seek out people who disagree with me on stuff.
Sure, sure,
Like,
sure.
because it's you have to surround yourself with people who disagree with you on things.
I only discriminate against one type of person. Well, I got a problem with lazy people that just won't
Sure.
get their ass up and hustle like that. I got a problem with that. And I'm sure that's my own internal demons, that I got to figure out. Maybe, and there's usually a reason, right? Mental issues,
Yeah.
health issues, whatever.
Yeah. We don't
Um,
know.
yeah, we don't know. We don't know what's causing them to be lazy. So a lot of times there's a reason. So I tend to bang on those people a little bit, but everybody else, like, I don't care
Yeah,
what,
absolutely.
yeah, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. I was curious about that. Okay. Very good. Didn't mean to go down a little path there on that, but I'm just
No, you're
curious.
good. You're good.
Yeah. I'm glad that, I respect the fact that you're open about it. And then I also respect the fact that you'll do business with people no matter, they're
Yeah, and I hope
Muslim.
this. Yeah,
They're
and I
Muslim. You don't
exactly.
care.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Of course. I mean, it's at the business level, anyways. Why does it matter?
Yeah. How did you, switching gears just for a second, how did you decide to be CEO and your partner decide to be CTO? How did you guys flip a coin or what?
Right. Honestly, I think you know, and this kind of goes to why I think we make such a good partnership. We're both pretty honest and open with each other.
Okay.
And I think when we had that talk, and I had that talk pretty early on with him because I didn't want there to be some weird, shit between us.
Yeah.
And so I we had to talk early on, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be real. I think that you would be a way better CTO than me. And that is the only reason that I think that it should be structured this way. It's not because I want to claim the CEO title so I can, boss you around or whatever it is. He he has more of a technical background than I do. And so and then on top of that, I I think that I fill a lot of the roles that a CEO would fill. I think I fill them more naturally. And so we both have different skill sets that we offer. And I think that if us being open about what are his talents, what are my talents, if we're open and honest about that, then I think that led to where we
Okay.
fall into our
Okay.
different positions.
Who closes the deals with clients? You and him, or you do it together? It depends.
It depends. It depends. Sometimes sometimes he has an old friend
I
or
see.
whoever it is that reaches out to us, and so
Mhm.
obviously then it would be best for him to communicate with them. But yeah, it just depends.
Okay. All right. Very good. I know you don't have much time left. I want to ask you about a couple of questions that are a little bigger, juicier topics above and beyond your business. And by the way, one more
Okay.
time, just for listeners, kickstartcrew.com. Um, you said you started a social network early on when you were being an entrepreneur. Did you mention that?
Yeah, there's nothing really to brag
Well,
about, but
well,
yeah,
I want to tell you why I'm going down this path. I mean, don't you think
sure.
Facebook needs a competitor? I mean, really, don't they? Right? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Don't they?
well, I don't know. I think that I think they have competitors.
Do they?
They
I don't know.
probably you know have bought out a couple of them.
Okay.
But I think that you know uh I think that I wouldn't really say they need a competitor as much as I think that there's definitely going to be a natural new thing that comes up eventually that just looks completely different,
Mm,
feels different,
mm, mm.
and just provides a completely different experience that is more, I guess, uh, draws in the generation of the time, whoever it is.
Okay.
So similar to Instagram, and I guess we'll see if they buy whoever that is out also. But
Here's a touchy subject for you. We'll see if you want to answer this one. Should Google, Facebook, and Twitter be able to censor and cancel people and censor information? What are your thoughts on that as a developer?
As a developer, I would say that my thoughts are probably, I don't know. I would think that they're pretty, I guess, basic. I guess it's nothing like super deep. But I just generally think that if you're a company and you own a product that, generally speaking, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Okay.
And so I think that if you do something that is causing, I guess, like a friction with whoever your clients are, or your customers or users in Facebook's case, if you create friction, then they're going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else. And that's kind of like the natural, I guess, progression in the economy that we have. Is it's the consumers kind of can pick another platform if they want, and you see it happen all the time. So I think
Gotcha.
Facebook, Twitter, Google, they can do whatever the hell they want to do at the end of the day. And if it pisses off their customers and they decide to leave and go somewhere else, then so be it.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. I like that answer. I would give my opinion on that whole topic, but I prefer to ask the questions. No, I like it though. I appreciate your answer. Thank you very much, Michael. Okay. Congratulations, by the way, on building, what you guys are putting together. Congrats to you and Rob and the rest of the team over there. I wish you the best as things move along. Sounds like you're plenty busy right now.
Yeah. Sometimes too busy.
Are you having to turn away business?
Yes. Yeah.
That's a good problem though, isn't it? I mean, don't you just love
Yeah.
that? If you can pick and choose the clients you want to take on, and you're calling Rob, and you're like, should we take this deal on? And you're deciding whether or not, I mean, that's a good problem to have. I mean,
yeah, it's a good problem. Yep, for sure. It becomes a real problem if it becomes too frequent. Then that should be a sign that you should grow or scale.
Well,
up somehow.
you know what that means. That means you need to scale up with people, which means you need to partner
Yep.
with a really good recruiting firm. I know one, by the way.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Michael, thanks for being on the Riderflex podcast and sharing your story. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.